This is Madden Football on EA Sports. Up next, we've got a good one on tap between the visiting Houston Texans and the Buffalo Bills. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Houston Texans and the Buffalo Bills. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. And we get a glance here at their leader, the man who will be calling the plays under center.
And this could be a whole lot of fun because if his game plan goes into effect early, we're going to see some shots downfield, aren't we? What did he talk to us about? Stretching the field. Wants to open things up for not just his receivers, but for anything underneath.
Well, that was the theme, the front page of the sports section. What did the columnist write? Possible air raid. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the coaches view that, right? Who gave away the game plan? I think it's pretty obvious, though. That'll help them win.
They throw right away, and that's complete out on the right side. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. The numbers for Jones last week: 17 carries, 66 yards, and a touchdown.
And he has 12 touchdowns on the ground this season, so you know he's a big part of their offense. They count on him, not only to score the touchdowns, but now they can play action, fake it to him, throw it out to the wide receivers, get it to other players who can also produce.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
Now Jones. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10. Delayed give there out of the gun. Defense was ready.
And I'm not a big fan of a draw play out of the shotgun formation because the quarterback's not having much action where he's getting away from the line of scrimmage. He's catching the football, making a little head fake, and then handing it off. You should be able to read it as they did there.
A dump underneath to Jones. Nothing doing on that one, and it'll be 4th down. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll be brought down here at the 28. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. And to give this time to the tailback. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Watson. And he will find his man on the outside. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched him more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down. A couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? 5 or more yards each time. That's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going.
Good sign on the opening drive.
Switch it, come on. Hey, 31! Check 50,
From the 50, it's Watson. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
I don't believe that this opening drive was surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in the paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker, can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll roll him out right. He's going to take off with it, and he'll be out of bounds, able to get it down to the 25 there. They'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down.
Okay, he's not going to get the 1st down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
From the gun on 3rd, Watson. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he's going to be taken down with another 1st down as the stop's made at the Texans' 13-yard line. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Watson, blitz coming, and down he goes. Second quarter now in Buffalo. It's the Bills in control of the football. They're in the midst of a nice drive, but facing a 3rd and long here. To throw is Watson, being chased out left. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. From 19 yards away, as his guys are... Harrison Butker is on for the extra point. And it's 7-0 Buffalo. So that one a 13-play drive in total. And it ends in a Buffalo touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. And now out comes Houston. They'll be looking to match that touchdown from a moment ago. 7-0 is the score as they begin with a first down. That ball complete to Isabella. Touchdown, Houston. Andy Isabella, 79 yards, as they are now on the board here in the first half. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. As the season winds down and you look at them in totality, you know, the offense has struggled. The defense has been pretty good, so I would imagine the changes this offseason may be more on the offensive side of the ball.
And this is where we always hear the term complementary football, because as you noted, the defense has played well enough for them to win games, and the offense has held them back. So they've got to reward that defense by improving on offense. I don't know if you make a change at quarterback, running back, tight end. It doesn't matter. Get better players, better system, so they can play to the standards of the defense, and the win column will result.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And they will score a pick six for the Texans TD.
Now that was a beautiful play. A pick six. How would you punctuate something like that, partner?
What, you mean with an exclamation mark?
Exclamation mark, a big word. What would you do with that?
Ampersand?
I like it.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 14-7. This is taken at the 3. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for this.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. So after the sack, they'll come up on a still manageable 2nd and 13. Here's Watson. And he's going to go down again. Going to need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal? Watson now to throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. A big play here for Buffalo. 47 yards. Now it's Watson. Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. Different story this time around. We had that huge gain, followed by a sizable loss here. A rough couple of weeks for the man under center. 5 sacks last week, 4 now this week. Do you try to design some quicker developing plays if you're an offensive coordinator?
I think you do that. I think you also change his launch point at times. In other words, move your pocket to the right, to the left, roll him out, bootleg him. Do some different things so they can't just rely on the fact that he's going to take 3 to 5 steps back in the pocket and line up and throw the football.
Yeah, current formula is not working right now.
Mike's 50, Mike's 50. Let's go, D. Line him, go.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And fourth down now coming up.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration, now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Out comes a Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, let's see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
What happened there? Was that just a missed assignment on the O-line?
It certainly felt like it, but also the speed of the play. When you talk about defensive end, they want to be ahead of the clock, don't they? They want to be upfield, making plays on every snap. How about his agility there to run that one down? On a second and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on third down.
And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. A nice first down pickup on a gain of 6. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. 2nd and 5. Completes it to Davis. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now a throw here to his running back. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. On first down, Wells. This one caught by Isabella. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half.
Ready? 8, read. Single.
2nd and 4. And that one his first incompletion in its last 6 passes. And it's third down. Defensively, celebration time because they finally forced an incompletion. He was perfect throwing the ball to that point.
Yeah, but from his viewpoint, they didn't force the incompletion. He just missed. That's how hot he is right now. That's how he wants to continue to throw the ball.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder Are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone, get you 6?
Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. Inside of a minute left in the half. Does the fact that you're down on the scoreboard influence what you do, or I guess don't do on this final drive?
It certainly does, but what influences me even more is who I've got running my football team out on the field and the weapons around him. Can he make a play? Can he get into someone that we're going to trust to take care of the ball? If that's the case, I might push it a little bit here and try and get something before the half runs out.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. They try to run on first down, but this defense says no dice. They stop them a couple yards behind the line of scrimmage. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And now it's second down. Now Watson. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the right hash, this from 53. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice. An ambitious effort, but it's well short. Okay, well, so much for the halftime report here. Guy can't even finish his Snickers. We're going to get right to the third quarter. Let me spit this out. This is fielded a couple yards deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Out come the Bills now as he'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. On third down, Lincoln. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. They have the first down with that gain of 4 yards.
Each team has its own terminology. Some people call it jumbo, some call it monster, some call it king. But it doesn't really matter. They brought in the big lumber to pick up that first down.
Yeah, you think about goal line defense with the goal line. He rifles one that's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 47. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. 2nd and 1. Throw left side, complete to Isabella. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first. On 1st and 10, Wells. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. A 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Texans use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious, because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Out of the gun, Watson. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Give him the third down conversion, 5 yards on the play. Watson now 13 of 16 throwing the football. It's 1st and 10. Back to throw, Watson. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Watson looks to throw again. That'll be caught over the middle by Moss. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. Watson now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. And to give this time to the tailback. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. And the offense moving quickly to the line. From just shy of midfield, Watson, rush coming, and he's taken down.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Wide open receiver, complete. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 38-yard line. Now a first down throw, Watson. And an alley to run. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. Here's Watson. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. No gain on the screen there. It's 2nd down. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Watson, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Emmanuel Ogbah make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
3rd and long. It's Watson. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 11. And his guys are going to have the football back as the 3rd quarter comes to an end. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Texans in control of the football and leading this game as well as we start the 4th.
He's coming. Double up, double up. He's coming, double up.
They'll start out on the ground with Jones. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Now, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
The Texans on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd-and-1 situation. Off the bootleg. Wells under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Whenever you see a team deciding to throw the ball on 3rd and 1, as a defensive player, my mindset is we've got them now, and that's why they dialed up the blitz and got after them.
But occasionally, you want to pass it on 3rd and 1. I mean, not a lot for sure, but sometimes just to keep the defense guessing.
Oh, no doubt. You want to break tendencies as you go along with the game because you don't want them to just say, oh, 3rd and 1, we know exactly what they're going to do. But in this situation, as an offensive lineman, as a running back, I want to know why I didn't get the football.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. A gain of 4 on the play, and it'll be a 2nd down. And they're going to speed things up here.
It's now 2nd and 6.
To throw again on 2nd down. Watson looking for his running back, and he's got him. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Watson. Forced out to his left. And now he's going to use his legs. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down. And quickly they get to the line. Throwing again on 2nd down. Watson. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, 1st down. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Watson sliding out of the pocket. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. There's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Watson, he'll try and run it. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. Late in the game, defense trying to avoid a big play. He's able to work out of the passing game, turn it into a run, pick up the first, and stop the clock as well.
And you know in this situation, everything is sped up. The intensity, the thinking, everyone's movement. But for a quarterback, he has to continue to be what we call a flatliner. Level in everything he does and read the clock, feel it in the pocket, and go to the...
And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. From 19 yards away, as his guys are back within a single score. Butker on for the PAT.
Okay, I know it's an old line, but it still applies here. The fat lady has not sung yet. She may be warming up, but she hasn't sung yet. There's still an opportunity.
So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive, and it culminates in a Bills touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. And now out comes Houston. After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand-new ball game. And now look at the situation. You got plenty of time on the clock. Defensively, they have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here or do you throw it?
I think you have that football.
And they take him down. The Bills get to him.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
He's coming, he's coming, he's coming. We got double up. Get it.
On 2nd down now, it's Jones. 9 yards on the gain there, so from 2nd and 19, now we've got a 3rd and 10. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Maurice Hurst with a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. Here's J.K. Scott now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And now hang on here. The door, can you hear it? It's a little open.
Is that the squeaky hinges that I'm hearing right now? Yeah, the door.
Is that too high pitched?
No, not at all. The door is open a little bit. It's almost like when you told those horror stories on the camping trip, right? And now, look out.
Yeah.
We got a little bit different look on the game at this point.
Big momentum swing here in the 4th on the punt fumble. Now a desperation throw deep downfield, and that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the 2nd quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
An incompletion, now a short pickup. That's not going to do it.
Yeah, you got to get to the line of scrimmage quickly, get set up, and aim downfield.
He'll look to throw, and able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete, certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. What a great sequence by this defense so far. They've given him nowhere to go with the football.
And they just have to make it stand up one more time because it appears that they've got their number. Can they not have a slip up here and allow the touchdown?
Back to throw. Dancing to his left. And no, it's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Texans take over an excellent field position. So now let's reset here, Charles. They do have 2 timeouts left, so they can stop the clock twice. This one's not quite over yet.
No, and what you're doing on defense, you're going to use both timeouts, obviously. But you've got to call defenses are going to force the issue early, meaning you want that play over fast. You don't want to give them time to dance around in the backfield or run a wide sweep that'll take off time. Blitz them, put pressure on them, make sure that play ends quickly so that you can go ahead and keep moving.
This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22. The Bills are going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. Back to throw. Wells. And this is caught. He hits more. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. A 22-yard touchdown grab. And the Texans push further out in front.
And that touchdown should make you feel comfortable. But do you really feel like it's totally over yet?
Not totally, but I think you're pretty much there.
Yeah, you've still got to make sure you stay with it, do all the right things down the stretch, especially on defense. But that touchdown there, you've got to feel good about your chances.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Mike 50.
Let's get it together, defense. Let's get it together.
On 1st and 10, Watson. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Buda Baker with a pick. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
Offside, defense.
And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it?